I wanted to do another installment on race, but from a different angle. Mostly, if you've noticed, black individuals see themselves as the lower status in America. And I wanted to bring a new twist to the race discussion. I wanted to look at common things that black individuals do and flip it. We don't On a large scale, African Americans don't think like the larger group. Like, we've been conditioned to think in terms of a lower status. And so what I'm going to be doing from now on is posing questions and especially allowing African Americans to think in a way in which they can see themselves as on the same status as the larger group instead of always seeing themselves as the lower status. Ever since slavery, African Americans have been given the identity as a less than human, and then in the civil rights movement, we made progress towards equal laws and equal rights within this country. But even after the civil rights movement, I find that African Americans still think of themselves as a lower status. You can see this in how it plays out in many ways within our society. And so over the next few months, I will be posing questions to make African Americans think on the same status level as the white majority. And how would things be different if we were the larger group? Would we do certain things? Would we not do certain things? So I want African Americans to shift their mindsets and start thinking on the same status level as a white person, as a Caucasian, because honestly, African Americans still think as though they're the lower status when that shouldn't be the point. Even though we're the minority, we need to start thinking of ourselves on the same level as the larger group, even though we don't have the numbers to back up, certain things in our societies or to make larger moves in our society because we are a minority. But if black individuals started thinking like the larger group, I think that our actions would change towards certain things and we would be more dignified when it comes to certain things, and we just would. So, with that being said, my project which started the project was Real Beauty, and I was going through a meltdown with my hair. Not a meltdown, but I was going through an identity crisis with my hair. And so my first question to the African American race, if we were thinking as a larger group, if we thought about it that way, and if we did a role reversal, and if we thought as a larger group, and if things were different, would we love our natural hair? Let's say, for example, we were the larger group. Let's say the African Americans were the majority in this country. Would we love straighter hair, or would we as a majority love our natural hair, since we would be in the role of deciding what is beautiful and what's not beautiful? So my first question under this whole mindset change and thinking of ourselves in the same way that the larger group thinks of themselves, even though we're the minorities, if things were flipped, if mindset was changed and we were the larger group, would we love straight hair as much as we do? Would we get perms as often? Or would we stick to natural hair? Would we stick to our natural hair? And would natural hair be seen as unprofessional? And that would be my first question in terms of changing the mindset of African Americans and thinking of us as the larger group or on the same status as the larger group.